Before the video starts, I just want to explain the backstory for it a little bit. I think around a little less than a year ago, I started experimenting with the knuckleball, and now, like 11 months later, I would say I know how to throw the pitch. I've by no means perfected it, and if right now you want to look up, I think it's something like R.A. Dickey shows off his knuckleball. If you look that up, you can learn from the best in the world. But it takes most people multiple years to learn how to throw this pitch, and it took me a little under a year. So if you want to go my route, I can tell you in this video everything I know about the knuckleball, because this knowledge allowed me to learn how to throw this pitch like 3 times faster than most other people in the world. What is happening, guys? Today I'm going to teach you how to throw a knuckleball. No, I'm no MLB knuckleballer or pitching guru, but I learned how to throw a knuckleball within a pretty short amount of time, so whatever I did worked, and I'm going to show you my process. I've always lacked speed on my fastball, so I needed an off speed that would keep batters off balance, and I found the knuckleball is perfect for that. It's a really hard pitch to learn, but if you put in the work, it will be worth it. I mean, if you look at MLB knuckleballers, they're practically unstoppable. The goal of throwing a knuckleball is to throw the ball with no spin, so that the wind rushing past the seams of the ball creates enough friction that the ball will flutter and dive unpredictably. I've heard people say that it's not a good knuckleball if the catcher can catch it. So imagine how hard it is to hit it. The catcher knows that it's coming. It is a dangerous pitch to throw. If you don't get movement, it's basically a batting practice fastball and it's probably going to get blasted. There are 2 ways that can happen. Either you put too much spin on the ball so it doesn't move, or you don't throw it fast enough so there's not enough friction from the seams. Just don't throw it in the game until you can get movement on it consistently. Let's get into how to throw it. Before I talk about like the mechanics and the grip and stuff, I have a few things to say. Number 1, I can't promise you that you are going to learn the knuckleball in any span of time. I'm giving you all the resources that I have for you to learn it, but it's really up to you how much work you're going to put in, and that's going to decide how fast you learn this pitch or whether you're going to learn this pitch at all. Secondly, you're going to need to practice this pitch pretty often, or else you're just going to keep forgetting it and keep on trying to learn it. It's so built on muscle memory that if you take like more than a week off, you're going to forget, you're going to have to relearn it. In the past year, I went to sleepaway camp for 7 weeks, didn't throw the knuckleball once, and I had to basically relearn it. It was not good. First off, there are so many ways to throw the knuckleball, but I'm going to show you what I've learned and what's worked for me. The first thing most people try to do is they try to push the ball. This may be your best bet to throw a ball without spin 20 feet, but you're not going to be able to throw a strike 60 feet at a sufficient speed like that. Instead, you need to create topspin on the ball that counteracts the natural backspin that is created when you sweep your arm down while throwing a pitch. One popular way to do this is to grip the ball with your middle finger and pointer finger digging into the ball like this. So when you throw, you can extend these fingers, and that will create topspin. At that point, it's just balancing out the topspin and backspin so it's completely neutral. What I like to do is I grip it similarly, except I put my ring finger kind of on the side of the ball like that, and that helps me pull down and create topspin. If you can't get comfortable with your grip, I would just recommend just maybe while you're watching YouTube or Netflix or doing something that you don't have to think about, just like hold the ball in your hand. It's a really awkward grip at first, so you're going to need to just get used to the feel of the ball. I did this for a little while until I could really get comfortable with the pitch. A lot of people have the incorrect notion that your fingers have to be on the seams. This is not true. The seams are not an important factor in the grip. I put my fingers just below the seams, only just because I use them as like a guideline so I can get the same grip every time. But honestly, whatever grip is comfortable for you. There are a few mechanics changes that you should make in order to throw this pitch. And they're basically just to help you control the spin of your pitch. So the first thing, you should keep your wrist very locked, because if your wrist is like flopping around, that's just going to make the spin more unpredictable. You want to have less torque in your upper body. I know one of the biggest changes that people make to throw their fastball with more velocity is having a lot of torque. Yes, if you don't do this, you're going to have a lot less speed, but the knuckleball isn't about the speed. It is going to help you a lot if you just come straight at the plate. And lastly, you're going to want your hand to be going from the top to the bottom of the zone. Kind of the same thing as the last one. You don't want to be turning, you don't want to be sidearming it, just to keep it as controlled as possible. And that should do it. I hope you guys do try to learn this pitch. At the end of the day, it's just really about experimenting and seeing what works for you. I haven't seen two knuckleballers who throw the pitch the same. It might take you years to learn, but I promise it will not disappoint. See ya.